somebody please sponsor us?
We
Okay.
are an amazing collective. If you're out there and you're looking for a podcast talking about Gen Z and millennial issues, more importantly, and issues in the workplace, let us know. We're not hard to find. We
We would
open.
love to also come to a live show if y'all want to.
If it's a venue that want to host us, we are there.
And the
Nothing.
people love us too.
They do.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Care to Elaborate. I know you're probably like, why is the girl talking first? We switching stuff up today. Okay, hello, welcome back to a new episode. I am your host, Taylor, and I'm here with my co-host, Travarus. Travarus, how are you today?
I feel good. It's been we had a really busy season, so happy to be back in the studio recording some new content for everybody.
Yeah, it's been we've been filming for a long time, y'all.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Facts.
but episode, I'm about to say episode, season 2 is underway. If you haven't been listening, go back and listen to our 8 other episodes. They were all fire this season. We got some more coming out. And
Got
now
some
we're
heat.
here. Yeah, we got some heat, okay?
Mhm.
Hot, like Alabama in the summertime. 100 degrees and humid. Hot as hell. Anyway, we're here today and we got some new stuff for y'all. We're doing something new. I told Travarus, I'm like, what we've been doing is great, but the people don't really know us. Like they kind of know us. They know
Mhm.
of us, but they need to get to know us some more.
So
I was
this is a us episode.
this is a S episode. I was like,
Okay.
Travarus, I'm about to ask you anything. And he was like, what that mean? And I was like, I'm gonna ask you anything. I think he got scared, y'all. I think he
Nah, I'm an open
Yeah.
book, but what I want to ensure is that not for me, but I want to make sure that the things that we're asking are reciprocal. So if you're asking me this, I want to make sure that I can ask you the same thing,
Yes. I mean, valid. This is a valid statement.
That's
And I
all.
know y'all probably like, where y'all getting these questions from? We got these books here.
We do.
They're a little different, but same
They're the same.
thing, different font.
That's
Okay.
all. A little Gen Z millennial difference, probably.
Exactly.
You probably got yours a little newer than mine.
It
What's
definitely is. What I ain't gonna lie, this shit kind of old. But anyway, yes, we got our books here, and we pulled some questions out of the book that we're gonna ask each other about each other. And y'all,
But before we go,
Huh?
how you doing? How's
How
it
am I
been?
doing?
How you living? What season are you in for? This where we are right now is about to get a little warmer. The
Mhm.
weather has broken, but how are you feeling in your seasons of adulthood?
I'm in the season of I need some more money.
You are full inside of adulthood. That is the great
Okay.
answer. Because don't we all?
Why is shit so expensive for me? Why? Why now?
Because you like nice things.
No, that's well, yes, but I looked at the inflation of McDonald's and Taco Bell the other day. What?
That's wild. That's
It
insane.
went up 100 and something percent for some stuff. I'm like, what happened to the dollar menu?
You know what? Better than that, when the dollar store ain't a dollar no more.
$1.25.
What we doing?
Some of that shit they have in there, I went the other day. I love the dollar store, by the way. I ain't never too good for the dollar store.
Okay.
I went, the aluminum foil, they talking about almost $2. Some of the stuff in there $3 now. I'm like, what? I thought it was the dollar. This not Five Below. This not Dollar General. This supposed to be the dollar store.
Right. Even Dollar General and Family Dollar aren't dollar stores. Why are you in the category? Why are you in the mix? Why don't you just call yourself something else?
Okay, because it's not dollar nothing.
No, you're not in the club.
So that's what season of life I'm in. I'm tired. I'm
understandable.
I don't want to spend no more money. Can somebody please sponsor us? If you see this, please sponsor us.
We make good content, y'all. We make good content. We are an amazing collective. If you're out there and you're looking for a podcast talking about Gen Z and millennial issues, more importantly, and issues in the workplace. Also, we just give you inflation content. You wasn't even ready for that. Just let us know. Email we're not hard to find.
Okay. info@caretoelaborate.com. Thank you. Please, or you can email us individually at Taylor@caretoelaborate, at Travarus@caretoelaborate. Whatever you need to do Please
Talk to us.
contact us.
We
We would
open.
love to also come to a live show if y'all want to sponsor a live
We are
event.
we got some, we if it's a venue that want to host us, we are there. It's
Hello.
nothing. It's
And the
nothing.
people love us too.
They do.
Thank you. Anyway, okay, Travaris, we're gonna get into these ask you and me anything questions.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell the people, y'all, Travaris has not seen these questions. So
I have not.
he has no clue what I'm asking. And I also have no clue what he's gonna ask me. So we're gonna get into it. And these are random. These are not in any order. This is just off the cuff. We're letting y'all get to know us real
Hmm.
right now.
Inside. And
Inside.
so we're elaborating on
Yes.
all things
Uh,
us. Let's do it.
okay, Travaris. I want to ask you this. What is something that you are always aware of?
Oh man, my blackness, I would say, in terms
Mm.
of my identity. I don't know if it ever leaves me the fact that when I walk into a store, if I have my hands in my pockets, uh, I'm always my mom used to always say, like, take your hands out your pockets, just because of those things. Which also is the reason why I like to turn up academically and and just try to uplift us in any way, shape, or form. So I would say I'm always aware that I'm black, for sure.
Mm. You know, this is good, but also this is low key sad. Like it's
Ain't
kind
it?
of yeah. Like first of all,
Yeah. Yes.
we wouldn't want to be anything other than black. Because
Facts.
hello,
Facts.
but I mean to have to like carry that burden
Yep.
all the
Yep.
time, that's tough.
Nah. No, you're right, and it's something that maybe other people are aware of, but for me, I'm a scholar, so I think about it. And we talked about this previous episodes, dual consciousness and what that means, and how I'm perceiving myself through their eyes and through my own. And as someone who wants to do great things in this world, and now have a family to, I am keen on picking up on what I'm giving off, so I can help other people who aren't as perceptive in that regard. You know what I mean? But I'll switch my question up a little bit. It's a little bit,
No.
and because I want to ask you, what is one childhood thing you always wanted but never got?
Mm. Honestly,
You got
I can't
everything?
even. Yeah. I was about to say a sibling, got those. You know what I wanted but never got?
Okay.
And this is so materialistic, but it's true.
That's what I'm asking for.
A Barbie dream house.
I You know what? In my mind, I had two things that I thought you would answer. Number two was Barbie something.
Mhm.
The first one is not a toy, but I thought you would go off script, was maybe a pool. Did you have a pool when you grew up?
My grandma had a pool. So,
Bet.
yeah, and she lived not far. So I
So
had
y'all had a pool.
and yeah, we had a cabana and everything too. But
Yeah.
look, okay, period. But I wanted that Barbie. So the thing is, the crazy thing about me and my life is that I had so many Barbies. Like I had like I had Ken,
Okay.
I had the 90s Barbie, I had the 80s Barbie, I had the new Barbie, I had the pregnant Barbie, I had the Barbie with the I mean, shit, I had every Barbie.
All her jobs.
Every okay, the nurse one, hello. But Barbie ain't have no house. All these Barbies. And they had a car,
Mm.
they didn't have no house. And I
So they
wish
was living with their parents. They had a way to get around, but they didn't. It wasn't
my
really
Barbies
like
were homeless. They didn't
they had they had somewhere to go. They was living with you,
they a
but they
box.
didn't have their
They
own
lived in a
crib.
box.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
damn! I
yeah.
thought it was like frolicking, like Toy Story.
No.
I'm being a lot of this triggered my thoughts of being a dad now because Taylor's into Toy Story. My daughter Taylor's into
Mm,
Toy Story. So literally thinking about Barbie not having a house is funny because it's like, don't you live amongst the other toys? None of them have houses.
they
But I
would
get it.
they would.
I
I
get
mean,
it.
when I tell you I had 20 Barbies and it was so many that they couldn't just be out. Like they had to be. My mama did not play that. Them toys could not be out. They had to be in a something, and it just so happened that they lived in a box.
Mm. All
Yeah.
right.
So if
Good
you
girl.
Barbie, if y'all want to sponsor us, y'all can give me it. I don't
Mattel, look,
hello.
my daughter loves Barbies. Taylor loves Barbies. We open.
Give me one of them black collectible ones that I can save for my daughter because I'm not
Right.
taking that mess at the box. I'm too grown. Anyway, Okay, thank you. We appreciate that. We're aware. We're aware of a couple things. I'm aware of what I did not receive as a child, and Travaris is aware of his blackness everywhere.
Oh, serious, but I couldn't help it.
No, it's
Couldn't help
no.
it.
That's we had to talk about that. Okay, I want to hear your answer to this question because I feel
Uh-oh.
like actually I don't know the answer. I'm just lying. I feel like I have an answer that I'm projecting onto you.
I
So
want to know if my answer is what you thought too.
I will tell you.
Okay.
I will tell you. It's probably not going to be because you're so much so just more sophisticated that it's probably going to be a sophisticated answer, and mine is just some junior shits. But anyway, here we go. Have you ever self sabotaged and why?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is in regards to women.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Uh
Oh, I just this is not what I thought you was gonna say, but I know
what
many
you
of
want
these
me
stories.
look, I can go well, you give me you there's this
No,
exists in many mediums.
this
It can
your
go
answer. This don't got nothing to do with
okay,
me.
all right. Relationship wise, right? So I've been in a few relationships and there was a point in time where I cared so much, like to the point where everything that I do was about this girl. This I would say this is a college joint.
I'm gonna need this one. What is if you like this, please call me 205.
Everything was about her. We got to a point now we're very different. Two different people. Um I was a lot more reserved back then. She had a lot more personality than I did at that moment. Um and long story short, towards the end of our relationship, I didn't think that she would fight for the relationship. So I just was like, yeah, I'm out of here. For whatever reason, right? We kids and I decided to dead it. At that same time, there was the other girl that was pulling on my line, and she was really interested. And I was like, look, the way I'm feeling in my current relationship, I'm gonna break up with my girl, take a little bit of time, but once I feel rehabilitated, I'm gonna go to the other girl. So I went to the other girl, completely thought that like my ex wasn't gonna fight. And I was like full fledged in this other, it wasn't a relationship, but I was with this girl. And I was just like, yeah, this is it. I was a little sloppy. I wasn't really like safeguarding things. And looking back, like me and my ex wasn't over. I took what I thought was the end and fucking blew that shit up. And it was like, she's not gonna fight, so I'm just gonna do what I want. And that shit was the stupidest thing I could have ever done. It was dumb. It was dumb. Like in my feelings, just feeling like I don't care anymore. And I learned she did care and she did fight, but I kind of fucked everything up for us at that moment. Obviously I didn't end up marrying this girl, so it was going to end regardless. But yeah, I stuck my foot in my mouth. I took a grenade, threw a whole bomb in that bitch, and that shit blew up.
Oh, it sounds like you did something called assume. You were
I
assuming.
did. I also had data. Like we were in a relationship for like 5 years,
Oh,
and you
my
have
God.
these little breakups and all of that. And then once, and I thought that she was like over it, like I was. So I'm like, I'm going out in a blaze of glory. Fuck that. And she was like, Nah, I want this to work. And I was like, What? Since
Oh,
when?
so not only were you assuming, you were
Mhm.
projecting.
Facts. Yes, absolutely
Mm,
projected.
you
Like
know what?
you done too, right? Like
Look, I know something about projecting, not because I be doing it, but
oh
because
nah, oh nah.
what do I be? You know what?
I
Let's
don't
just
know.
talk
I was
about
just
it.
asking. Just
Okay,
by I was just
we're gonna talk
asking.
about this offline because you're not gonna eat me up in front of these people.
I wasn't about to do that. It was a genuine question. Like,
Oh,
oh no.
I mean, somebody who know me in the comments, let me know. Do I be
Is that
projecting?
me? Is that me?
Okay, is that
What did
me?
you think? What did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say something around like a opportunity, like a I don't know.
Look, here's one thing that I think maybe people listening to this should know is that I'm not sure what y'all see when y'all see me, but I have a breath of I live the life, right? So, and even in talking to Taylor when we first met, she may see me as like this guy from work, right? And I only exist in that one box, but like I live the life. So some of these answers to these questions might not be what y'all expect. If y'all expect anything, so just stay tuned to see how much more open we get.
Lord forbid we had a shot before we did this.
Facts. We should have probably did that.
We're sober, everyone. We're
Yes. Oh, yeah, this is.
this is
We
a
probably should have
sober
planned to
show.
do this after having the shot.
Oh, I love
Okay.
it.
Next question for you. And see how I can turn this up a little bit.
Oh no, no, no. Oh no!
When you step into a function,
What
right?
the fuck? The function? What is?
Yeah, right. What is the first thing you notice on a man?
I don't be looking at men.
If you did,
Probably. Ooh, what do I be looking at? Oh my god, they hair. What they
the
got
hair
on?
word. What if they too tall
Too tall.
for you to see like his hair?
First, what are you talking about? I can look.
Oh man, I get it. I
I
get it.
be looking up. I would say
Okay.
like their outfit,
For the
probably,
drip.
but I don't really care about stuff like that. Like, I mean, like I don't like
Oh,
the fashion men. That's like too. Because if you fit more fashionable than me, then what are we doing? What are we doing?
I will take this opportunity to give you a compliment, but I don't feel like it. So continue.
That's gonna be
I
a,
was going to
it's
say,
gonna be a
I
clip.
was going to say, it'll be hard for somebody to outdress you. They would have to really put effort
Right.
into it.
Y'all see my look. Y'all see my news reporter fit today. I'm coming straight from work. Um, you know what? I appreciate that because I don't think I can dress for real. Like I think
I
I
don't
can.
what.
I
So
can dress, but I'm not putting that shit on. It ain't
since
like
we're elaborating, I told Taylor this a couple episodes ago. She does this thing where she undersells and over delivers. She says things about herself that universally is not true. I don't know who ever told you that you can't dress or you don't dress. You
yeah,
don't.
no,
Nobody said that.
myself.
Nobody's ever said that.
You right. And y'all, to be honest, my clothes be from Shein, but people do not be knowing. But
It
anyway,
don't matter. It
that's
don't
a whole
matter.
nother thing. It and don't. Hello, save money, live better. Anyway,
Except tariffs.
yeah, that's
But
done now. So I hope everyone who's listening placed their last Shein order a couple weeks ago because baby, the price is going up. I'm finna have to go back to Fashion Nova, and I don't even like them like that for real. The times are sad.
yeah.
That's why we need a sponsorship.
Come, I mean, look. To be honest, Shane or Fashion Nova, if you want to outfit us, then we'll gladly take and promote your products.
Hello, hello, this Fashion Nova right now.
No big
Anyway, to
deal.
answer your question, it is most likely someone's clothing. That's the first thing that
Okay.
I see solely because it's still like the largest. Like that's what people be having on. Also,
Yeah.
probably someone's height. Like not even on no you need to be super tall stuff, but just because like when I see someone, that's what I'm seeing.
I mean, you can both be informative and superficial. I think that's okay.
Not informative and but I mean I don't have anything against I mean y'all have to realize everyone that does not know me personally, I am 5'3". So it's not like
But when has that ever stopped a woman from liking someone taller than them? Let me be honest. There was this time where me and my friend, I didn't have the car, he had the car. His car was, we can acknowledge now, was a piece of shit, but we was in that thing. We was in
all
it. And
right.
I drove it. It had the wind up joint. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
but
All right.
look, when we at the spot, you don't know how we got there. It don't even matter.
True.
Anyway, we stopped, and this was in Trenton, New Jersey, and we stopped at the bus stop, right? And we weren't because there was a light. The light was here, but it
Oh,
was a
okay.
bus stop right next door. Yeah, right. So there were two girls that looked at us crazy for being in this car, and we looked at each other like, "But you on the bus? What are you talking about?" And we had a good laugh about that. But just because a woman isn't in a situation doesn't mean they can't, and has never stopped them from judging a man who was in a different situation.
That's very
So
true.
so, although you are aware of your height, and that doesn't mean that you can't ask for a guy that's a certain height.
You know, this is valid. And you know, I do enjoy you
A
know,
tall glass of
a
water.
little tree. But I think I do notice the height. I think that's because a lot of people in DC are really short. A lot of men
Mm.
in DC are like low key, we almost the same height. And I'd be like,
You want to know something I saw, but I thought was it gave me a little chuckle. It was something called Short King Week.
where was this?
Short. It was on Instagram. Short King Week. It's actually hilarious. It's like 5/5, like May 5th to like May 12th.
All right.
So
All right.
like depending on your height, that was your day, and it was like So if you 5'9", you supposed to celebrate that day. Shout out to y'all, man.
I should have told my dad about this.
Short King Week, Short
Short,
King Week. If you
short
celebrate Short
king.
King Week, let us know in the comments. We will celebrate you. I'll tap a like on your comment. I might even comment back with you. So
Please.
shout out to y'all.
Shout out to the short kings out there. We appreciate y'all doing God's
They
work.
do. They do. I'll
That
dunk on
day.
your little ass.
All right. Tamar, next question. Next question. What exists in abundance in your life?
Oh, love, love, love. So much love. Generational love, I would
Mm,
say. I'm not sure if I ever shared this on this platform, but uh my mom, who passed in 2016, was really a purveyor of love. So much so that every time we left the house, I had to say, I love you, be careful, see ya. And that has permeated to every single relationship that I've been in romantically, where their moms have then said, oh wow, I don't tell my daughter that I love them enough. So they've always been like, oh, I love you. And it kind of sticks with them. My homies, they've been the same way. Like, y'all say I love you a lot. Like, yeah. And now to my daughter, well, to my wife, first of all, no, I can't leave the house without saying I love you. And now my daughter is the same way. So whenever either one of us leaves the house, the garage door, the front door, what have you, it is, I love you, see ya, and be careful. And it's
mhm.
like clockwork. So that has always surrounded me, and love is something I've never not had. So I would say love is definitely an abundance in my life.
You are blessed because a lot of
Thank
people
you.
can't say that.
And I realized that now, speaking about something that you thought was like normalized, I always thought that everybody shared that kind of verbal
Mm,
admiration of love, but I quickly realized, like when I got to college, like nah, that doesn't exist.
mm.
Um, but the thing about it is, it's something that can be added, and it's never too late. Like I've seen the transformation of people being like, "Yo, I told my mom I love her more and more now because of you, or my dad, or or my cousin, or my wife, or my girlfriend." Like you say it. Back in the day, it was like my indication of love is because you're in this house and I'm paying. Love was
Yeah.
paying the bills and having a roof over your head or having food on the table. Yes, that is love, but also how great is it to hear it, right? So love is in abundance in my life.
Gotta affirm other people. I love that. Let
Yeah.
me call somebody and tell them I love them today.
Yeah, I
Give
think that's,
them a
you know
call.
what? I'm going to steal that same question. I think that's a great one. What do you think right now is in abundance in your life?
Support.
Oh, that's great. Talk to me more. Say more.
I feel like there is always I am if the people do not know, a constant self-doubter. I be doubting the hell out of myself. I'd be like, I don't know if you can do that. I'd be like, I don't know if this gonna work. I'm always questioning
Hmm.
what is going to be. And because of that, I got to work on supporting myself. But I have come to realize that in all aspects of my life, whether that's at work, whether that's at home, whether that's with my friends, whether that's on social media, that people are constantly supporting me. I'll to give you an example. The other day, I was telling my one of my coworkers about just my schedule. Like y'all, my schedule ever since I started studying for the GRE been crazy out the wazoo.
Mm.
I mean, wild. And I was telling her about my schedule, and she was like, I really want to support you. She was like, after this, I want you to take a moment and like log off, like live your life, like sit and be. She's like, because I'm really worried about like you and your well being. And she said, I'll do anything that I can to support you in this endeavor. And
That's amazing.
I was like, wait a minute. This is so kind. What do you mean? And it wasn't even like she was being so serious. And we talked about like some of my life goals and some of the content that I make now. And she was like, I want to be able to support you in that and find you some of these deals and do this and that. And I was like,
Deals. Now we talking my language.
okay. She was like, and she's only known me for like 6 months. I'm like, this is just thank you. And that really just opened my eyes to how much people support me. And I mean, even on social media, like specifically LinkedIn, I get messages all the time about people who are like, I really love what you do. Like I'm
Mm.
here supporting your content, even if you don't see it. And I'm like, wow.
I mean, but they can like it though.
They- But honestly, those times I don't be going through them like, so I really don't be doing.
I
But
get it.
I'm just like, wow. Like people really support me even when I'm hard on myself. People are constantly rooting for me. So I really I really just love that.
You only see yourself from your eyeballs. You don't. Well, pardon me. You never see yourself.
Yeah.
Like and that's for better or for worse. We never really get a chance to see ourselves. So how other people see us may be a surprise. Um, but I think if you're the way that you operate, you may come off as fearless, whether you know it or not. Whether no matter how much you self audit or how much you doubt, you may come off to other people as fearless, as someone who is not afraid to be vulnerable and putting out content, is not afraid to, because nobody knows how long you've deliberated before you make that post.
Hmm.
All they see is the post. So I think also the more you share with individuals, the more they have the opportunity to support. So I can understand that.
Shout out to all the supporters out there. I appreciate
Facts.
y'all. Okay. Ooh, I have so many good questions. I feel like all these questions are actually good questions. So I'm not going to keep saying that this is a good question because they're all good.
I mean, you affirm yourself. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Hello. It's really
Talk
the
about
book.
it.
It's really the book. But
But you
I,
chose
I
them.
did pick them out within
That's
5 minutes,
it.
y'all. I'm speed demon. Anyway, is there something you were never taught but had to experience in order to learn?
Ooh, I
Hmm?
got one that's
Oh,
boring, but let me see if I got,
okay.
yeah, like credit.
Okay, that's not. No, people need to trust.
All
That's
right.
something
All right.
everybody needs to learn.
Let me see if as I'm thinking about this, as I'm talking about the credit, what I'm gonna think about something spicier. Uh, Credit. My mom used to say, my mom and dad, pardon me, my dad was in my life. My dad is very present. But my mom specifically used to say, don't fuck your credit up
Don't.
without instructions. Like there was no instructions, but it's only because theirs was fucked up. If that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
they know that they want better for me, but they don't know how to do it.
Right.
And I've learned since that like you only learn through either bumping your head or really strategic directions on what not to do, right? If it's like, yeah, watch out for potholes when you're driving, cool. But if they're like, nah, on 7th Street there's a pothole near that blue house. It's like, oh, I can avoid that pothole now that I know it's near the blue house. So credit is a boring answer. Um, the more spicy answer, what would I say in this regard? Uh, you can't trust everybody.
Ooh. Woo.
Um,
Hello.
yeah, you can't trust everybody.
Good tea.
And what I mean by that is even wolves smile,
Mm,
right? And you don't know who's coming unless you have this barrier, but you don't get this barrier of protection until you've been through some shit.
mm.
So sometimes you really can't see a wolf coming because you have open arms, right? You are the person, you don't have ill will, you don't have ill intent. But sometimes a wolf observes your openness and wants to come in and rob you of that or take what you got because they don't have the joy that you have. And or they want your possessions, they want your people, they just want to take your energy. So you can't trust everybody. And all those who come with help may also be coming just to get inside the crib. I'm not sure anybody's seen Sinners, right? You have to
Hello.
invite the vampires in,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they may exist. You may see them, but they may not be presenting their full selves because once they're invited in is when they take action. So you can't trust everybody.
Keep them outside the door.
Facts, 100%. But
Mhm.
Sinners was such a microcosm for life. It was such a dope movie. So if y'all
I
haven't
loved
seen
it.
Sinners, check it out.
10.
Yeah. Um, what is the first thing you do when you get to a new city?
Like on vacation?
Anywhere, whether it's work, whether it's vacation, what is the first thing you do? You touch down in a new city. You fly in, get to your hotel or your Airbnb, put that key in. What is the first thought you have about what's next?
What are we eating? So sometimes before I even get to the hotel, I'm like, where we gonna have to stop? Where the food is?
To be honest, I'll be on the flight like, all right, best. As soon as I get some service, I got to figure out where we're going to
What
eat.
I'm gonna eat.
Cause yeah,
That is the first thing I think all the time. Where is the food? And most often than not, it is that I already know what we're going to eat because I made the itinerary. And I'm like, you
Oh,
need to go.
yes. You know what? For that reason, I'm going to ask you another question because if
Mm.
you make the itinerary, then you have everything planned
I
out.
don't trust nobody else. I let somebody make the itinerary one time,
And that was the last time.
the last time.
What is one of your biggest regrets?
Trusting men.
Fuck.
That's the real answer. That's the real look. Let me tell y'all something. When I go back and think of moments in life that I wish I could go back and change, 90% of them are related to men.
Mm.
Like when I really think about it. And I think me, younger me specifically, I wish I could go back and slap her in the face. Just punch her dead in
Slap
the
her, slap Taylor.
slap Taylor dead in the mouth.
But
Like
would you know? But would you know how to operate and move and shake if you didn't experience that previously?
no. But I wish I could have told myself to prevent it,
Okay,
to prevent the heartbreak. But I do think that people have to go through things in life in order to learn, in order to
for
grow, in order to
sure.
blossom. And I will say that all the things that I went through before with age 21, they really have shaped me to be
Mm.
the woman and the person I am today. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for
Yeah,
all y'all. And, yeah, and if you listening, if it was you or not.
I hope they
Um,
listening.
they look, y'all probably are listening because y'all still be liking my pictures. Anyway, all that to say, um, I just have regrets around the amount of things that I allowed and the way that I let it affect me
Mm.
mentally and emotionally. I don't. I was too young to be that down bad about some crusty boys.
Nah, man, there are women who was mad that Chris Brown got a girlfriend when they was like 15. So
Valid.
they ain't even had no shot. At least he was intermingling with the boy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you live and you learn, you know.
I learned a lot. And nowadays I don't trust a man like look as far as I can see. Anyway, all right. Okay. Let me say, I want to ask. I know the answer to this. I
Okay.
am 90% sure I know the answer to this. What is your most significant achievement so far in your life?
Ew, starting a family.
Yep, I knew that. I was
Yeah,
like,
starting a family. And to get a bit more granular, the person you choose to start a family with is paramount. Like, I know that y'all know that, right? Depending on
no,
what
say it
family.
again because some of these people
Okay.
don't know that.
The person you choose to start a family with is probably the most important decision you'll ever make in your life
Mm.
because it sets the tone. I have friends, really good friends, who did not start off on the best foot and they came from amazing households. It is not their fault per se. They just thought that somebody was somebody and they switched up. So, really having to vet the person and really spending time and like the thing that I think was the best for my wife and I is that we was friends. No, we didn't. There was no line crossing until the time was right. We weren't even in that space to begin to think about being romantic because we were involved with other people. So she was the homie. And then once we began to think about like, oh, the potential to get together, it was like it's seamless because I know you. I've passively observed you, not romantically, but just as who you are as a person. But her being able to us navigating life together has been dope. I decided to marry her. Oh, I proposed in COVID. And COVID was one of those moments where you're like, it's either turn up or like we got to break up.
Or go.
Yeah, we got to figure this out. And we've so far have produced my daughter and my son is on the way. So starting a family by far is my greatest accomplishment.
I love love, especially
Yeah.
black love. That's wonderful.
It's the greatest. It's the greatest.
Ooh.
For you, what's the best piece of advice you've gotten from somebody that you respect?
Best piece of advice that I've gotten. Use this piece of advice every day. This
Okay.
is the piece of advice that my grandfather gave my dad that my dad now gives and tells me all the time. And it is as long as you are taking one step every day, you are making progress.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think about this like when I say this is the thing that has lived in my head the most.
Mhm.
Especially as someone who is an overachiever or a high achiever, I constantly think I need to be doing additional things in order to strive to be the greatest. And I feel like if I am not doing something, multiple things, honestly, every day that I am not making progress. And I beat myself up about that bad. Like I be tearing myself up.
Mhm.
Um, and my dad one day he sat me down. He was like, "You're trying to do too much." He was like, "You are going to run yourself into the ground because you're
Mm,
trying to do too much." And I'm also one who I'm not as anxious as I used to be in the past, but I used to be very anxious. And so, like me striving to do all these things and being anxious at the same time, the combination was just not, it was not
yeah,
even, it was
yeah,
not good. Um, and my dad took that moment to tell me, he was like, "You need to focus on having one small goal every day." He was like, "If
yep.
it's just getting out of bed, you did something.
Facts.
That's enough."
Cross that thing off the list. It's
Exactly.
so what's the word? Cathartic to
Mhm.
cross something off your list, whatever that thing is.
Exactly. And I had to really, talk and work with him about me finding something every day, especially the days that I was just really not feeling it. Me just making one little small goal and being able to say, "Hey, I did that." Whether it was making up the
Mhm.
bed, because I hate making up my bed. Whether it's making up my bed, whether it's, oh, I cleaned the kitchen, whatever it is.
Right.
Just being proud in the little things, and allowing myself to know that every day doesn't have to be this huge big accomplishment. Like it's
Yeah.
really just in accomplishing the small things.
Have you acknowledged how far you've come?
No.
No?
I do it. Okay, so I do this occasionally, especially after therapy. Like I will sit in my apartment and I look around and I'd
Mhm.
be like, "Dog, you really you really moved yourself hundreds of
Yep.
miles away from home, did your own thing, have your own apartment."
Yep.
And then I really start to acknowledge how far I've come and like what I've been able to build. It takes the real moments of like reflecting for me to remember these things, because I'm always looking forward that I forget to look back. But I
Mhm.
am starting to take more of those moments to be more just self-reflective and
Yeah.
appreciative of what I've done and how far I've come. Because I mean, even in my mental health journey, ooh, child, if 16-year-old me could see 24-year-old me, she would be like, "I know that's right." Because
That's what's
16,
up.
ooh, because
I love
16-year-old
to
me.
hear it. I love to hear that because of the age in which you grew up, where maybe other folks have suffered without the community or the words to describe mental health.
Mm,
But also for you to be able to track that journey from 16 to now, whereas maybe in other generations, your mental health journey would be starting now,
yeah, exactly.
right? So I think that's dope. But also that's an acknowledgement of how far you've come because it's not about material things all the time. It's not about the kind of job you have. It's how far have you evolved mentally? How have you evolved in your philosophies, your personal philosophies, your the people who you're around, the things you are attracted to, both romantically and
Mm.
just spiritually. So yeah,
100%. And I would say to everyone listening, one thing that I've done since I was like 9 is I've had an ongoing journal. So I
mm,
have multiple journals. I have my journal from 9, I got my journal from high school, I had one for college, I have one now, and I'm able to like really track my journey through my life, because I think,
that's fire.
especially as you get older, you forget what happened when you was 9 years old. Like you don't remember that
What?
stuff.
No, ever.
If I wanna go back, I got it written down in my Justice journal that's pink with, glitter and stickers on it. I can go back and see what 4th grade Taylor was doing, how she felt. And a lot of my, like, mental health journey and just what was going on in my life at the time, I've been able to also track so I can see that progress, and it's been a beautiful thing.
Can I say this is great. This is a great idea. So Taylor, this was Taylor's idea,
Thank you.
and she wanted to start the episode, and I love this. We should do this more often.
We should do it once a season. We should
We
do a
sure for
Ask
sure.
Me Anything. Okay. I ooh, I'm trying to figure out okay, Imma ask this one. What is a red flag for you? This can be in any aspect of your life. That's so academic.
Hmm. Because I thought about a few things. What's the red flag for me?
You can name more than
Uh,
one.
yeah. Okay. Let me get to it. Because I wanna have the perfect. I wanna hit it on the bullseye. Inconsistency
Mm.
for sure. Inconsistency. Move that to number 2.
Oh.
Insulting my intelligence.
Ooh, Travarus do hate that. Ooh.
There's nothing in this world that would make me flip the fuck out is more than if you feel like you thought that something went over my head, I didn't get it, I am somehow below the radar of my available intellect,
Mm.
I will I will verbally fuck you up.
I've seen this happen also.
It's not happening. It's so a red flag is like if you think like 'cause I think that anybody has a position where like if you're talking to somebody they don't understand, you approach it a certain way, right? And I think that's respectable, it's honorable. But if you are to then slight me by thinking that like, oh, he doesn't understand, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Trust and believe. I've turned down my knob to talk to your dumb ass.
Ooh.
So we're not doing that. So I would say that above and beyond, I would say insult my intelligence is number one. Number two would be inconsistency.
Mm.
I think this is a good question. Let me ask you the same thing. What's a red flag for you?
Red flag for me would have to be lack of, and I'm gonna say this, but this anyway, this might be a red flag. Anyway, lack of communication.
Got it.
And this is something that I'm also working on is being more transparent and but I could say this is also part of my own red flags. So sometimes I struggle to communicate my feelings, which is why I know it's a red flag. It's definitely a red flag.
Mm,
But it's a flag that can be fixed. Um
for sure.
yes. And so I have to work on, especially in relationships, whether they're platonic or romantic, is like really communicating. Cause I feel like I used to like over communicate. And I think
Hmm.
because of the trauma, now I under communicate.
Can I
Uh-huh.
guess? Can I? I want to screw this in. So is it more like you have been like you have a dog, and like when you're
Okay.
excited, your tail be wagging,
Uh-huh.
and like that's like you texting and being excited about things, and it's not, and it wasn't reciprocated. So he was like, "Fuck it, I'm not saying nothing anymore." Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's I would say yes. That's what happened to this was a while ago. Yeah, like
Of course.
you are constantly talking to somebody and then they I can't even Lord Jesus. Anyway, I'm saying this and I'm being a red flag right now, so I apologize to other people. Anyway, but yeah, yes, that.
I think
Um
communication is a red flag for a lot of people, both like you
yes.
mentioned, romantic and platonic, because I don't know how good of a friend you are if we don't chat. Like in the beginning, like we gotta establish something. So I think you understand somebody's level of interest in any kind of relationship based on how much they communicate with you.
Uh-huh.
So communication for sure. And you can fuck something up that's really beautiful by under communicating.
Yeah, exactly. I'm learning it from both ends, from being the receiver and the one that's
Mhm.
doing the communicating. Like it is also one of my red flags that I need to
But
fix.
also mentor mentee, right? If you don't
Right.
utilize your mentor as much as you need to, or if you're in therapy and you're not talking about all the things you need to be talking about, you're
Hello.
not going to yield the results that you want.
Exactly. So that's a red flag. That's a red
Yeah, understood.
Mm, okay, I know we are coming towards the end part of our episode. So I have a couple of more questions.
Let's get a couple more.
And I want to know what is your biggest incentive?
Ooh, damn. Every other question, as she was saying it, by the time she finished it, I had an answer. I don't know. My biggest incentive. Hmm. Okay, I have a uh hippie vibe one
Hippie. Oh,
that's like floating in the air. That's like you really can't tie it down. And I have another one. The one that's grounded is money.
of course. Hello, where is the
Give,
where the bag at?
give me the bread. Give me the bread. Um, the second one, which I'll elaborate more on, is legacy. Right. Um,
Oh, this is gonna lead into my next question later. I'm
yeah,
gonna let you.
because legacy is really important to me, and this is no shade to my family. I was set up. I was set up to be the one that helps to break the trauma. I was bred to do that, right? But that means that I don't inherit anything, right?
Mm,
I'm
mm.
fueled now by the mistakes of my past generations. I'm only motivated to do better than they have been, but also I need to do better. Period. Like that can't be my motivator. So I'm constantly thinking about what can I do to make sure that my kids will be better off than I am? And that means I have to learn new things. I have to experience new things. I got to travel more, take them. My daughter been on a plane when she was 5 months old. I ain't get on a plane until I was 17. So little things like that, like
Mm.
legacy and expansion leads to exposure. How can I expand and expose my family to more so they can, you know, enrich their lives going forward? But I would say that
You said expansion leads to exposure.
exposure. Yeah.
I like that.
I
I'm gonna
stole
take
that. That's not mine.
oh.
I stole it, but it sticks with me because it's
I
so
love it.
true. The more exposure you have to something, I mean, the more exposure you are to something, the more can you are
Expanding.
expanding.
Mm. I'm gonna steal that from you. Thanks.
Matter of fact, it's the other way. Exposure leads to expansion.
Expansion. That makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Yeah,
I
the more
like
you're
that.
exposed to something,
You
you
expand more. You grow your
yeah,
worldly view. Like
you
your
grow.
yeah, your perspective is
Mhm.
changed. It's widened.
Yep.
Mm. Shout out to you for taking that and using what you learned from your parents to build your own family and make sure that your daughter and soon to be your son will have the foundation that you wish you had.
Yeah, I mean
Provided that
that's
for 'em.
I think that's the goal. Similar vein for you, what is one thing you really want to accomplish before you are 30?
I want to be able to leave corporate America. That's what I want.
Hey, yo,
Look,
Sheen, Fashion
okay.
Nova, who else did we
Hello,
call out?
somebody.
Shit, Nike, Shure, Apple. Come, yeah, come talk to us. We got we're talented. So Sony, I'm looking right at you right now. Like, just come talk to us. Save
Sure.
us.
Look, sure. Like, did you say sure? The
We
mics?
said sure. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Come on. But no, seriously, I I enjoy corporate America because of the stability. I will
Yeah.
never, ever, ever say like corporate America is all bad because that's just not true.
Facts.
However, in me going to pursue my MBA, one of my goals out of that is to make sure that I can make something for myself. And
Mm.
whatever that happens to be, hopefully it's a continuation of this. Hopefully it's a
Yes.
continuation of the things that I've already built. But whatever that also is in that matriculation and that time, I want to be able to say that Taylor can do what she want to do on her own time.
Facts.
The thing that I realized about corporate is that you really are working on someone else's time. And while that's not
Yeah.
a problem for some people, and it's not necessarily a problem for me right now, I sometimes fear that I'm missing out on other things in my life because I'm glued to my computer. And I
Mm,
think about often some of the things that I could be experiencing and I don't know, I'm like, "Ugh, I wish I could do this right now, but I need to go to work."
yeah.
And I saw a podcast, not a podcast, a TikTok the other day, and the girl was talking about how, she lives to work, but her brother works to live. And that's my whole thing. Like I work to be able to fund the things that I really
Right.
enjoy doing. And I
Right.
love the work that I do, but I just really think about me right now and I think about me when I'm like 40 and I don't want to be doing this when I'm 40 if I'm being honest.
I get it.
My passion is being able to have these conversations like we're doing now and to be able to bring that to the people who are underserved in the communities and hopefully be able to make a life out of that. Like that is my dream. My dream job is to be able to yap and get paid for it.
That makes two of us
Yeah.
for
So,
sure.
yeah, I definitely want to be able to say that by the age of 30, not only do I have my MBA, but I was able to start something of my own.
I love that. From my master's program came a new career, which
Mm,
afforded me opportunities to do things that I didn't think that I would be able to do in my previous one. So it's 1,000,000% possible with focus and intention for sure.
yes, I'm being intentional now, studying in this book. Y'all pray for me. Okay. All right, Travaris, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
And it's going off of this idea of legacy.
Okay.
And it's if somebody made a highlight reel of your life, what would be on it?
Oh, snap. So I made an Instagram post last week and I'm gonna get to the question. And I was in the barbershop because I was talking to my dad and I asked a question to men only, like, when's the last time you were proud of yourself?
Mhm.
Um, and varying answers. And I was like, this is what I wanted. But this makes me think about what for me, like we'll be on a highlight reel. Starting with the ultimate goal that I had to do for my mom. My mom established I was going to college very early, like very like I wrote it in my master's thesis, my master's personal statement to get into grad school about uh, my mom first day of school, 5 years old, like going to college. Couldn't spell it, but I knew I was going. I knew I was going. So I would say first real milestone for me is graduating college. Uh, Next milestone for me would be moving to California in 2015, not knowing a soul out there. Next milestone I would say is establishing. Nah, forget that. I would say get my master's degree, um, and also at the same time shifting careers when it wasn't popular to go from education to tech. There was no blueprint on how to do that. Um, while also uh, moving across country, going to grad school, finding my partner in grad school, and us building a life would be also in our highlight reel. And if I'm gonna talk my shit a little bit, another part of my highlight reel was proposing in Hawaii, getting married in Mexico, being able to afford this big ass ring that she got, moving us cross country, starting a family, and now having this podcast with you.
Well, oh,
That
I'm on a highlight reel.
yeah,
I know
yeah, yeah.
that's
You make
right.
the highlight reel. That would be my highlight reel. I would say. I think that I covered all the things that are superficially and also like deep importance to me.
No, this is a good highlight reel, and it's not done yet, y'all. He got many more years to go.
Oh yeah, this is nah. Wait till my son comes here.
This
It's up.
oh brother, be a mini Travarus
um,
running around.
my final question for you is: if you could give, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. That's a little bit too basic. Um, what is something that Taylor wants to leave the world with and be known for well beyond your years on Earth?
Mm. Taylor wants to leave the world with resources for the underserved community. Maybe I need to write a book so that the people can have a book and it can live beyond me. Like when I think about when I leave this earth, I really want people to be like, Taylor helped me. Like
Mm.
Taylor helped me in whatever regard that looks like, whether that was helping you get a job, an internship, or helping you believe in yourself, even though I damn sure don't believe in myself some days.
Stop.
I'm serious. I really want people to be able to like look at me in my life and say, you know what? Like there were moments when she didn't feel like doing it, but she still came, she showed up and she helped me in my time of need.
Yep.
Um, that's what I really think about. And I always tell people like I don't do things for recognition. I don't do things for money. I really just want to be able to help people. Like I want people to be able to have some of the opportunities that I've been afforded through the blessings in my life.
Hmm.
And I hope that, you know, when my time is up a long time from now,
Yeah, nowhere near
not
now.
really, that people can say like Taylor really took the time to do what she needed to do to assist others. So that's my whole thing.
I think that's beautiful. Number one, you are doing that now. I know for sure because I'm not sure if I said this on the pod yet, but I went to the Bay for work in February. Met with some Thurgood Marshall College Fund potential interns. Might have been like 40 of them. I mentioned I have a podcast with my friend and colleague Taylor. They was like, Taylor Falls? They don't know Taylor at all, but they follow her on LinkedIn. And I was like, oh, it's different. This is different. So, in weird places and pockets where I didn't expect to hear your name or for me to introduce your name, people were also reciting it back to me. So your impact is definitely being felt in pockets you probably don't even know of yet. So you're on your way.
That warms my heart. And I'm like, I'm just getting started. So I really I'm excited to see what the future holds and what the future holds for both of us. I mean, we really
Oh
just
yeah.
in the early stages of our lives. You know, y'all know Travarus a little. He ain't unk yet, but
Did you see that? You see that LinkedIn, I mean, the TikTok or Instagram post when the dude was describing the seasons? It was like, this is YN,
uh-huh.
and
And this,
this
yeah,
is Unk, and this is OG. I was like, yeah, dang, that's
you in the
accurate.
you in the unk.
You put me in Unk, and I was like, that's
Yeah,
fine,
you. It's great.
that's fine,
You don't wear
that's fine.
sandals when you be barbecuing, do you?
Nah, 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 nah,
Okay,
nah,
that's
nah, nah,
good.
not
So
yet,
you all
not
right.
yet,
You now
not
you
yet.
know you safe for now.
Yeah, there's an evolution that what I realized is that there's an evolution for all of us. No matter what you think, you will evolve into some of the shit that you didn't
I'm
enjoy.
gonna be a bad bitch to the day I die.
That doesn't mean that you can't be. That doesn't mean that you can't be. But you might find yourself in more leisurely clothes around the house a little longer than you thought that you
Oh,
wanted
that's
to.
me now. I be walking around
Okay.
in a UGG robe. I'm serious. It got all fur, it's white and cream. I got some cheetahs, house slippers my grandma gave me.
Oh nah, yeah. See, you gotta
Yep.
embrace your grandma shit early, so that
Mhm.
way you don't feel bad when you transition.
Hair be
Into
twisted up and everything.
yeah, I think I get that. I get that.
Exactly. Gerard, you gonna close us out? Since I did the intro, I'll let you. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Yeah, so I want to say number one, thank y'all for the support. Season 2 has been tremendous. Like we've had some amazing guests. It's been really great for Taylor and I to take a step back and to really just hone in on everybody else because what we ultimately want to do is to bring you as much great content that is relatable and useful to you right now and today. Everybody that we've had on, we wanted to make sure that it was actionable items that you can just you don't have to wait for 3 or 4 years to take this information in. You can really apply it today. So we wanted to kind of just open up our book, no pun intended, today to ensure that you all know a little bit more about us because as we grow as a community, we want you to have a certain level of trust in us as to what kind of content we want to deliver. And although this season was dedicated to everybody else, we want to make sure that you know that we will always be here as a resource, but also we want to let you all know who we are more so you can trust us as well. So, with that being said, we will see y'all next time.